And like, yeah, if we wanted to just talk about just celebrity in general, like, there's so many Hollywood stories.
Right. Like I think that's kind of like one of the things you gotta kind of keep, I've mentioned before, like, game development tends to kind of like be a little envious of Hollywood. I think, you get a little bit of that also with a celebrity, where, you get some people who, you know, want to go around acting like, diva fucking,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hollywood actors.
Extraction is ready.
Right.
Allow
Um,
Oh,
me to
yeah.
handle more of the.
and like we talked about the Fast and Furious franchise, the I think in the last podcast or one of the previous ones where the Rock, where they're splintering the franchise because the Rock and Vin Diesel can't refuse to be on set at the same time.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's some interesting actor drama. Did I tell you the Batman? Yeah, Vela. Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel refused to be on set at the same time. In the past Fast and Furious movies, you'll notice if they're ever on screen at the same time, they've been superimposed in or edited in. I'm not sure. I think it's an ego. I think they just have clashing personality and egos.
Right.
That's what I heard. I don't keep up with Hollywood drama that much. I just hear what I hear.
Right.
Um so I'm dropping a lot of Hollywood names here, but I'm not talking about video game celebrities.
Yeah, I need to.
Stand by while I
Um.
analyze the intelligence profiles of the Grenier.
So we have a small list of video game celebrities here.
The operator
Yeah. We talked a little bit about Shigeru Miyamoto and the kind of the Game Boy camera. I mean, obviously he's kind of worked on a lot of major franchises, but even he has kind of his downside. Another person you'd like to mention a lot is Toby Fox, who he made music in the Homestuck community, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, and then basically kind of parlayed that into making Undertale.
Which I didn't realize when I first started like looking at Untail, but the music's a huge part of the game.
Right, right.
Which I never even like realized until I started looking at his music.
Right.
And then I saw like the influences.
I'm one level away from maxing out Hildren.
Nice.
Did you want to go like do like a low level
Fissure?
yeah, Fisher? Maybe I can get maxing out.
Yeah, I'll work on. I gotta form a stuff. Ugh.
I'm gonna be farming this kit gun because this kit gun is fucking amazing.
Do I have anything I can form that's worthwhile? I think I can.
I mean, like last time this happened, I just shoved farm into random things, and sometime I can just work up.
Oh yeah, true.
Just like like B rank. Like I threw a farm into Excalibur Umbra.
Well, this is my issue that I form my stuff so regularly that
Right.
like if I just start randomly formatting, it's gonna mess something up. Alright, that's one more thing done, and then I'll just form a random melee weapon because I can. Because I don't work on melee weapons very often.
Right.
Okay, done with that.
Comfy dreamers.
Woo.
One of our own believes they are the equal of our
You have to complete 3 sorties. We probably shouldn't do a sortie with these leveling frames.
I was just like, I'll work on Hildren later. I don't feel like playing her right now.
I don't know. I think there's a Lith extermination. Those are generally pretty easy.
Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, like Shigeru Miyamoto, he has. Liam Neeson was the dad in Fallout 3.
Oh yeah.
Wait, there's what dad in Fallout 3? I've never played Fallout 3. Who's dad? Your dad? The dad.
D-Dad?
D-dad.
D-Dad, D-Dad. What? Sorry.
I am blue, da boo dee ba doo ba. You know, I gotta have my horrible singing on stream.
I know. Gets us so much positive attention.
I have no shame.
You?
I mean, there is a function on Twitch called Twitch Sings.
Corpus threats.
Right, I think it's like a karaoke mode or something. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it.
Void fissures. You need them to open a click. but
Yeah,
only confident
what?
you can withstand their fury.
Nothing. I
Near a fissure.
refuse to acknowledge the existence of this thing.
Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open that crack.
So yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
like,
it's up. But you know, going kind of talking about Toby Fox, you know, this is kind of like what we were talking about before, using some kind of minor celebrity, in one area to kind of like perpetuate, to propel interest in another area.
mhm.
Homestuck had a huge following.
Yeah, from what I've read, like a lot of speculators, that Homestuck was actually the largest online fandom
Right.
ever to exist. Just based off the hits off the site whenever a new video would come out.
Right.
Which I don't know the validity to that.
The
That's
relic has been
just
cracked open.
something that I.
It sounds like one of those hyperbole things that
The enemy
may or may not be accurate.
done. Now get to extraction.
I don't know. Game of Thrones is pretty big.
Hmm. But whenever you hear somebody talking about, oh, it's the biggest ever,
Right.
it's like,
Right. But yeah, like, and he's making Deltarune, which he released the first part of that for free,
right.
which I still need to play. I don't know, buy your frickin' Paris Prime, whatever.
Mhm.
Oh wait, there's a white. Fuck.
Way to go. I guess exterminate missions are one of the weeklies.
Yeah, that works. Another person. I mean, he didn't have popularity to start with, but he has popularity now because of his creation. Is Scott Cawthorn.
Right. The Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, but like,
Or
but that's also kind of interesting because like it felt like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of got big because it was around about the time when streaming started getting big, and it was one of those it was one of those games with the jump scares, and like a lot of streamers kind of exaggerated their reactions to jump scares for comedic effect.
Yeah, it wasn't just like streaming. It was YouTube and like that's when YouTube gaming was just starting.
Right.
So that was a big part too. Like with Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, they all. That's around when their channels all started to grow.
Right. And so, like, I guess the guy's kind of like, one of the example, kind of like, sometimes the unpredictable nature of celebrities that, if you're making, if you're making something like a game and then people pick it up, that can get you a lot of attention. It's not necessarily something you can plan for. you know, but it's something you can take advantage of and you know kind of benefit from.
But are you confident you can
Right,
withstand
and he has said kind of on record that because the celebrity that he has now, it's harder for him to make games
the reactant is working on
Right.
your relic.
because
Find more.
it, he doesn't have a in-house staff. He's the sole
Right.
designer for the game, and then he contracts out artists and voice actors.
Right, right,
Um, and it's hard for him to anticipate feedback for the game, so he doesn't even like try to hype anything up. He creates it and then he throws it out into the world and then moves to the next thing.
right,
And
right.
pray to God
None of
that
the
the
scanners have
game
detected
is
you.
to the satisfaction of the audience, and if it's not, then he'll go back and try to make up for it, for
Right.
disappointing his audience.
Right, right.
Which the history for him that I've read is actually kind of interesting too, though.
Yeah.
His like celebrity history or his game development history, because he originally started making like Flash games
Right,
that
right.
were supposed to be very like family friendly, like micromanagement
The enemy is broken.
games.
Well done.
Mm.
Get
But
to extraction.
they're all like very Christian oriented and family friendly oriented themes of
Mhm.
like I forget the exact examples,
Mhm.
but a lot of the feedback he got about those games was that they were okay, they were kind of meh, they're too tame, like not
Right, right.
exciting. And so it's
Right.
just like, oh, you want exciting? Oh, you want risky? I'll give you risky. And then he made Five Nights at Freddy's, and just like
Right.
went ham with the scares and the everything.
Right.
And then and then he started started implementing like this really messed up story over the course of the next 3 or 4 games.
Right, right.
And now he's the Five Nights at Freddy's guy.
Right.
And so I thought that was interesting, that the reason why he went into this kind of scary theme jump scare game was because
As a reaction to kind of feedback he got
right.
from more kind of staid games, you could say.
He's just like, fine, challenge accepted. You want scary?
Right.
I'll give you scary. Or something to that effect. I might be a little off in the story. That I skimmed an article at one point.